I'd always wanted an SLR, so I went and bought a Canon. It was your very basic bottom of the range.
Is there any reason why you went Canon? I'm not.
I had a look at Canon and Nikon, and their actual functions on the camera I thought was a bit more user-friendly was a Canon. So I went with that.
That's good.
And I went out with my daughter, just mucking around kind of thing, and took this photo and put it on Facebook. And I didn't think anything of it. She was literally just playing in the bushes.
Yep.
And I had something stupid amount of likes on it, just on my personal one. And friends started commenting and saying, why don't you do this? Like, why don't you take photos of other children? And I was like, oh, that idea daunted me. I was like, no, kind of thing. And then I kind of sat back and gave it some thought, and I was like, all right, why not? So a friend of mine had a baby, and I look at this now and I think, oh my God, no. So this was the first photo I took for somebody else. And I'm just like, oh. So that was, 3 years ago now?
Yeah, right.
I'm sure they were happy with it.
They were, and at the time I was excited because I still had done something for somebody else. So I hadn't charged them, obviously, because I didn't know what I was doing. Did a lot of Pinteresting before I went around there for some ideas. And so I think I gave about 8 photos in total from that session. So that was then, and this was taken now 2 days ago. So
I have trouble with the curling up thing. Like, how do you get them so small?
so small.
As in curled up and tucked up and staying that way without going.
I have a lot of babies that I tried to do on the whole, like the newborn, what are they called now, beanbag thing, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't mould them. I couldn't, no chance. So I found baskets were really easy to use instead. So you could kind of make like a nest in it and then fold them up into it. I've only just started wrapping babies. A lot of them I'll just have like nappy covers on with headbands and things like that. But now that I'm doing it a bit more, it's becoming easier. It is hard when they're awake. They obviously want to move around, throw their arms around. It's a bit of a challenge. But if you have the patience, like my usual newborn session will be 2 to 3 hours. That allows time for feeding, for sleeping, nappies, anything in the meantime. I had one yesterday that took over 2 hours just because the baby wouldn't settle. And that's fine. Every child's different. You can't count on them being happy and sleeping for the whole time. But I'll usually suggest to parents to feed their child before they come around, so that way they are already in that kind of sleepy stage. Newborns, I find, can be quite difficult in terms of settling them and things. Sometimes you will get them where they will just scream the whole time. There might be something wrong. It's unpredictable. So a lot of them, not a lot, I say a lot, but a few I've had come back a second time because I'd rather them be in a better state. So that way, like, baby's upset, mum gets frustrated and unsettled. I become then a bit tense, and then the baby will pick up on that as well. No chance of saving it then. So it's easier just to get them to come back.
So do you set them on a table or?
No, so they're just on the floor. Can I go to my website?
Yeah. So Google Chrome's down there or Safari, whatever. So when you're booking your clients, and we're getting a bit down the track.
Just proceed.
Yeah, hit proceed. Don't panic.
I was like, what?
Advance.
Oh, I didn't get that bit.
Proceed.
Yeah. There we go.
You know.
You're on a watch list by the looks of that.
Ooh.
Nah.
Where are we?
So these are your packages.
Yeah, so these are my packages. The majority of my newborn stuff is done on the floor. If I'm at home, I'll put down floorboards. They're simple clip-together ones from Bunnings. So if they can't come to you, I've often gone to their houses as well. Pack it up in the car, turn up, put it down, and it's easy to pack away as well. I use as much natural light as I can. That's what I'm confident with. And I do love doing newborn photos outdoors.
What? That's cool.
So, obviously at the moment it's too cold. I wouldn't take a baby out in this weather. So they usually come to my house or I'll go to them. But during the warmer months, I'll do as many as I can outside. It's warm enough for them so they're not unsettled.
Things catch their eyes.
Yeah. The
Interesting.
only thing you've got to be careful then of is like last year, mosquitoes. Because of all the rain that we had, there was an influx of them. But yeah, other than that, and then, yeah, there's a few more down here. So I like to get the families involved as well, parents, siblings, not just the new child. Yeah.
It's a bit more of a, like it's a complete story then, isn't it?
Yeah. So, because I had a lot of, before I did all this the other week, I had a lot of queries from parents coming and saying, do we get to get involved as well, or is it just the baby? I'm like, no, go for it. And that's at no extra charge either. I don't see the point in that.
No.
That's them.
So, Aleisha, if we were to go, like 3 years ago, you took your first photo of your daughter, and someone said, "Wow, that was really nice," and that kind of sparked it for you.
Yep.
You know, what was the next step from there? Did you just start? Did you build your website, or like? I'm guessing it's certainly for me, it was a gradual process of shooting heaps for free and then building something. What was your?
Pretty much the same. So a lot of friends, because I have a 7-year-old child who you'll meet this afternoon if she cooperates with photos. She obviously had a lot of friends, so I basically went to their parents and was like, can I do some photos? I just want to practice. They were more than happy to, which was really good. After that, I then looked at studies. So I looked at La Trobe, I looked at CSU. I also work full-time as a receptionist, so getting time off work to study was a bit like, ooh, I still need to pay my bills. So then I discovered the diploma course through the TAFE, and that was offered online. So I thought, winner. So I basically enrolled in that. And in the meantime, I then made a Facebook page for photos and started charging clients $50 a photo session. And I said you would get 5 to 10 images because at that stage, there's a lot of hit and miss. So there'd be a lot of things out of focus, a lot of things that just made me go, oh, no, I can't give that. And over time, just built up my prices from there. And word of mouth has been basically my main means of advertisement and Facebook. So
do you still work at the other job?
yeah, so I'm still there full time.
Yeah.
I don't work Fridays, so I do photos on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And what else? In daylight savings time, so most days I'll finish at 5:30. So at 6 o'clock I'll do them after work as well. So it doesn't leave me much free time,
No.
but
Do you
at the
have
end,
any other children other than your girl?
no, just the one. So it was a bit hectic last year. I think we were talking about it because I did the course, I worked, I planned a wedding, and I did 6 months of placement at the Board of Mail.
Yeah.
So that was a bit full on. So now it's kind of nice to sit back and just do them a couple of days a week. Yeah. Get a bit of a social life back at the same time. It's really hard to balance it. I don't know if you have partners or whatnot. My husband can get quite frustrated because I'm either out doing photos or I'm sitting at the computer. So
Editing photos.
yeah. So it's that balancing game because you don't want to be like, I'm so into something, you want to drive it, you want to push for it, but you need to take a step back and appreciate everything else at the same time. So,
I mean, and I'm just trying to broaden it because not necessarily everyone's probably going to follow you into maternity and newborn
no.
photography. But do you think swapping out the subject matter, like your template or your part, still has value to follow? Like if you swap this out for, band portraits or
Are you talking about the website itself?
Just how you built it. So you started doing $50 photo shoots and running that alongside a free Facebook page.
Yeah.
Which then generated stuff, and then you built that to a website that.
I've only had the website a few months.
Yeah.
I was very daunted by the idea of building something. Thank God I have a talented friend who basically put it together for me. Because that was Mark, between him and Pete Charlesworth, drilling into me, you need a website. I was like, oh, okay then. So I finally bit the bullet and did it.
That keeps coming up. We might try Safari, but if you're happy to keep clicking.
But this Mac's different to mine.
Yeah, it's on. So what are you after? Safari?
That's all good.
No. Sorry.
So yeah, I put together a bit of a portfolio, and I've had a lot of hits on the website so far, in terms of people getting in contact with me that don't have Facebook and things like that. So that's been a win.
Do you do the Instagram thing?
I never used to. I've started doing that a bit more lately, just because there was so much like debate around they're not your photos anymore once you put them on Instagram type thing. So I didn't want to use it. But now I'm just kind of like, see what happens. But
So, Jen, if I'm steering you away from what you want to talk about,
No.
just
go for it.
the Facebook page. Lots of photographers I've known that built them, that started it up, and you see that notification. Your friend has made a Facebook page. Would you like to like it? And you go to that Facebook page, and there is the photo that says we've updated the cover, and there's the photo that says we've updated the profile pic,
And that's it.
and that's it. Is that enough?
To start with,
Yeah, or what? Yeah,
I didn't leave it at that. Because I'd already taken a fair few, I basically bombarded it as soon as I started it. So
Yeah.
that they're not just going thinking, oh, okay, well, she's got nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, very much put as much as you can into it right from the get-go.
yeah,
Because it's not worth it. It's just going to sit there otherwise.
yeah. And how often do you post to it now? And do you ever take breaks from posting, or is it a?
It'll depend. I was at one point posting something every day, just to keep something coming up in people's news feeds. But now it's once every couple of days, and then I'll do it on Instagram as well. My website I'll update maybe once a fortnight
Yeah.
or so.
Do you know the numbers on like your Facebook followers, and you like a page, don't you? You don't join it.
Yeah, you'd like
Yeah.
it. So at the moment I've got 700 likes
Yeah.
on Facebook.
And you've been building that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So it takes time and patience. I found that the sponsored things do work.
Yeah.
So where you pay to have it come up in a lot more people's feeds rather than just who likes it already. That does pay off, and it's only I think $7 for 2 days
Yeah, right.
for your photo to come up.
Well, if it does work, I mean, it's $7, but if you ever looked at trying to get an ad in the Board of Mail or a TV ad for your business, it's like
$7 is
it's not
worth
happening.
it.
For $7, yeah.
But I'll only do that if I'm really trying to push for something. Like I've recently done a couple of weddings, and so I'm trying to book more weddings, so I'll sponsor something like that
Yeah.
to try and get that more out there. Or if I've had a baby photo that I think is just super cute, then I'll sponsor that. I'm like, this is what I want people to see. I think it's on here. It's very surprising what does go better than other things. Like on Instagram, I find I do struggle with certain photos to get people to like it and so on.
Yep.
And then I was really surprised by this photo I put on Instagram the other day, and I had 200 likes on it in 12 minutes.
What? Yeah, wow.
So that,
It's an awesome photo.
but at the same time, I was just like, compared to other things that I put up, I was really surprised.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what people are going to be interested in at the end of the day. But he's so cute. He's my friend's baby. Just like, I got bored one day and I thought, can I do some? Because I hadn't done anything for a while, and I don't want to then get set back. So I I like to stay industry current, as people
Yeah.
say, and so I like to keep busy.
Yeah.
Bubbles are always good.
We brought Bubbles today because we're going to have a baby this
Bubbles
morning.
are good too.
But no, you need to do things to try and keep them entertained, like keep their focus. But at the same time, I love doing photos of kids where they're not paying attention at all.
Mm.
Just kind of, they're picking flowers or something. They're obviously like the other fun ones to do. I think that's all kind of from.
No, that's
Yeah.
cool. In terms of like, would it be appropriate if we had a look through your gear bag in a minute?
Yeah, go
Sort
for
of
it.
see what happened. Like, we won't just troll through it. It'll be you
What's
pulling something out and showing us and talking about it.
I can pull that all out.
The other question is like, these guys are, really building and really good at the photography side of things. Like, they'll shoot some beautiful shots today.
Yep.
There's another side to it too, which is the dealing with people and
Oh, God.
stuff. So any sorts of insights you can share there as to how to manage a client, and then a client who thinks their child is the most amazing child in the world, and lots like.
I found it hard to get the parent not to smile, like you sort of overtake.
I don't think I've had anything I've had one client that's stuck in my head that has really gotten to me personally. Okay, so long story short, I was really caught off guard by this one person. So the mother booked photos for her 6-month-old child. Lovely person to talk to. She was only quite young. And we discussed like what she would wear, what kind of props she wanted, all these types of things leading up to it. I have specific locations that I do prefer. She asked to have it done somewhere else where I hadn't done them before. I was like, okay, no worries. It was quite bare, so I was a bit like, oh, I love shade because the light will come through it rather than straight on them. So that was okay, but when I turned up, she's brought her mum. And Grandma has obviously gone through my Facebook and not liked what I do.
Oh.
Wow.
And so I've got there caught off guard, and she's like, we're not using that fluffy rug, that's disgusting. We're not using that tutu, that's disgusting. I don't like your photos, how you've got everything blurry in the background. I want everything in focus. I was just like, whoa.
Probably not.
And this was before I had taken a photo.
Yeah.
And so I explained to her, I'm like, well, your daughter has booked me, obviously based on what I do. I said, I do prefer the blurry background. I said, that way your child is in focus and that's the centre of the attention rather than everything. And discussing it with a friend, they said I probably should have just walked away from the whole scenario, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to risk losing a client because at the end of the day, the mum had booked it, not the grandma.
Did she already pay when?
No, they hadn't paid.
Okay.
So they pay on the day, most clients. But yeah, that really threw me. And from what I would usually allow for an hour session for photos, I cut to 20 minutes because I had grandma in my ear the whole time.
Mm.
So I kept the smile on my face and I bit my tongue and yeah, exactly. You can't speak your mind because as soon as you do something like that, word of mouth, bang, you could be out of business very quickly.
Bad word of mouth goes a lot faster.
Yeah. So, and in the end, they were happy with their blurry background photos. So that was a turn of events. But yeah, things like that really can throw you very quickly. But otherwise, the majority of clients have just basically sat back, let me do as I've wished. My main thing is to, like, especially with this kind of age group, get involved with them as soon as you get there, make them comfortable with you, get them to be happy, so that when mum puts them down, you're kind of sitting there, they're not like, oh, who's this person? Yeah, so get them more relaxed. But that kind of answered that in a fashion.
That's perfect, yeah.
Super.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've not met many photographers that have come straight out of school and set up a shingle and worked as in like a shop front and started working full time at it, you know. It's mostly been, even in my own case, it was a blended transition into that next job or running two, you know, like you've got a 9-to-5 job where you've got leave, holidays, sick leave, all that kind of stuff, plus a profitable photography business on top too, where it's and that sort of pays for your holidays and your gear and your passion and things like that. Yeah.
It was like my camera that I bought, I went and put it on a credit card. My husband cringed. But I made a point of not touching like my 9 to 5 wage, and I used everything from photos to pay that off. And I did that in 3 months. So
Yeah, wow.
I was like, oh,
And what camera was that?
The 5D Mark III.
Okay.
So yeah, I went out and bought a new camera last year. And it's the best decision I've made. Because the things I can do now, as super as my first camera was, I couldn't do it. The ISO level, as soon as you went past 400, grain. And I know you will always tell me, it's better to have grain than a slower shutter, but I hate it.
Yeah, okay.
So I, as soon as I went and bought this new camera, I was like, oh, thank God. So it just made life so much easier.
Nice. But I mean, like, you can, I'm not going to, we're not Aleisha's accountant, so she doesn't have to lay out her maths, but if you think about what that camera's worth, and you think about it getting paid off in 3 months purely with a photography business,
And weekends.
probably something you guys could get behind and aspire to. Like, that's,
$3,000 camera.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a bit.
yeah.
So,
Alright,
in
Quick.
saying that,
sorry, go.
no, go.
I was just going to say questions while we're here.
Yep.
On any of that?
Do you ever get clients that ask to see the photos before you actually send them? Like edit them and then send them to them?
Yes and no. So every client I'll ask if they're happy for me to put something on Facebook first for them. I won't upload anything without their permission.
Okay.
If they don't want it on Facebook, that's fine. I will happily send it to them in a private message. So I'll usually give them 1 or 2 sneak peeks before their photos come out as a whole. A lot of photographers will let their clients choose their photos. I don't. So
Get messy.
yeah. Your yes and no is just so in the past, like for example last week. So I will choose the best 10 photos that I have, edit them. If I then think I have more to give them, like an extra 5 or extra 10, I'll offer them if they want them as well. Some clients will ask to see them first, so I'll take a screenshot and send it to them and tell them, look, here's a before and after of one of the photos you've already seen. Keep in mind these photos aren't edited. I don't want to waste my time editing an extra 10 photos for them to say, I don't want them.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah, once they agree to that, I say, here's my bank details, please transfer me the rest of the money. You'll have them by Tuesday, kind of thing. And allow an extra couple of days to get the rest done.
Yeah, so if you could just, the time frame between, you've shot them on Saturday, when does the client expect them?
By Saturday fortnight. So
Okay, yeah.
I have a 2-week turnaround with photos. The one thing I can suggest, because I've been on the other side and it can become really frustrating, if you tell a client that you're going to have something done by that day, have it done by that day. Don't leave them in the wind. If you get sick or something, obviously that's an exception. I will email them and say, hey, I've had the flu. I'm sorry if you have to wait a couple of extra days. You'll have them by Thursday. Have them to them by then. Because I've been the person on the other side that's been like, where are my photos? Weeks later, haven't heard anything from anyone. And it can become really frustrating. And so I don't want them to think that of me.
Yeah.
Do you only give them electronic copies or do you do
Yeah.
prints? No.
No, so I don't do
It's
prints.
just-
So I do Dropbox for photos. I leave them in Dropbox for a week before I then delete it. So they have a week then to download those images. And I will tell them to print it at either not Officeworks, God, don't go there.
Don't go to office.
No.
No.
Harvey Norman or Camera House. So that way I know that my photos that are on the screen will match the prints. I find that Big W and Officeworks have a lot of red in them, so they'll come out a bit funny. And my black and white ones at Officeworks, I've been told by clients who've gone there that they come out like cartoons. So that's why I'm like, don't go to Officeworks, please. But yeah, the other 2 places I'll highly recommend. They've probably got the best printers in town.
Sweet.
For a wedding, though, I have a 3-month turnaround. I've never taken 3 months to get wedding photos to them, but I would rather them expect
Worst
that.
scenario. Than
Yeah, just with work and like other kids' photos and whatnot in the meantime. I just leave that bigger gap for it.
Mm. Well, yeah, you've only got 4 weekends in a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Alright.
So how many photos do you do for the wedding?
So I work on an hourly basis for a wedding. I have a 3-hour minimum, and then I charge per hour after that. Based on how long I'm there is based on how many photos I'll get, roughly. In that 3-hour period, they'll get between 100 to 200 images, and so on. From there, I've had a wedding, I think I was there for 6 hours, and they would have got around 400 photos.
So that's the photos they got.
Yeah.
How many did you take?
Oh, God.
Roughly.
Talking card-wise, so I shoot everything in RAW. I filled a 32 gig plus a 16 gig. And then have gone home and gone through all of that. I believe in, where are we? It's more quality rather than quantity for images. I don't want to give people the same thing 3 different ways kind of thing, or 3 separate angles. Like, I don't see the point of it personally. And with weddings, I try to do like a lot of fun ones as well. Where are we? Like just the girls having a laugh and the boys dressed up like clowns. So, where are we? Good if I could make this go faster to where I want to go. Like this one I loved of her and her little girl.
Yeah, it's really cute.
She was quite upset for the majority of the day because she wanted to be involved in everything. So we took what we could with her. But like the sunset ones I had a lot of fun with. I ended up having a guest help me with these. So I just had an umbrella and a flash and got her to hold them while I shot, basically.
Awesome. Oh, that's cool.
So that was probably my favourite from the day, that one.